Hello, welcome back in. This is the music judge and jury, okay, aka Queen Millennial, and this is a special episode called Let's Talk on why girl groups, they just don't last, and why when they try to come back together later on in life, does it still not last? Okay, the way that males do can get back together later on after disbandment and have these reunion long, tours and book shows and concerts, right? Like your New Editions and your New Kids on the Block and etc. Okay, I'm going to talk about that, but first, as always, a word. Put away your fist, put away your weapons, put away your anger, because it's not worth it when you have to think about what it is that you have to lose. Now, if you're steadily working on building something, and all of a sudden things from the outside people are coming in and they're provoking the anger out of you, it's a skill you got to constantly work on to not let it lead to something that's going to completely derail you. So you got to find the woo-saw even in the moment. It's like literally being in customer service, basically. Letting that train you up well, and being self-aware of yourself is another skill you must develop if you do not have it already. Okay, that's going to help you out a lot more, right? Somebody like me is naturally fiery. I do believe in the signs, and I do believe in astrology. I'm an Aries. We're naturally a fire sign. So it was never natural for me to be calm and cool when things upset me or get in my way. There's still instances where if you get in my way, I'm trying to clear you out of it because I'm militant. It's 1, 2, 3, let's go. Right? I'm cool with you, but if you're in my way, or, this is when the frustration comes in, right? Because I'm trying to get things done. I got a schedule, I got a plan, I got things to do. Move, right? Or if I feel like I'm threatened, here comes the anger again. But I can control it more when it's something or somebody that's like angering me because of a particular issue. But when it comes to like getting in my way of accomplishing what I'm trying to accomplish, it's still to this day the hardest thing for me, right? So the lesson of the word of the day is continuing to work on keeping it together, because you have goals and things for those of us who have that you're trying to achieve. Anyway, let's get back to what we're talking about. Hello, welcome back to It's That Girl or It's Not That Girl. Now, I'm Worklena, the workhorse, and of course, this is a show where I talk about popular music and popular artists and even independent recording artists from today, yesterday, and beyond. Now, we're here to talk about why girl groups, they just do not last. Okay, so I want you to go ahead, pull up a chair, a couch, get the Doritos, the Cheez-Its, the Twizzlers, the Skittles. I don't know. Roll up something, grab the Chardonnay, the Alizé, honey, because this is It's That Girl or It's Not That Girl. Here we go.
One life, they wanna be around, no matter how you are getting down. There's really nothing that you can do. Push past all the doubts and believe in you. Push past all the doubts and believe in you. Cause when it's all over, said and done, there's only one, yeah, there's only one. Take it by the horns and be on the run. Take it by the horns and be on the run. Even when you get down, yes, they wanna be around and they wanna see you frown. One life, they wanna be around and
welcome back to It's That Girl or It's Not That Girl. Now, of course, I'm Peyton 3.0, the artist, the musician, the entertainer. So, AKA, we'll get to that later. Anyway, losing my focus. So, I am not the influencer. I am not the YouTuber, and I'm not the content creator. As I say on all my videos, those are great platforms and tools to build the business, the brand, the reputation up, the name, but most importantly, the community. And hopefully you, yes, I'm talking to you, honey, will join this community today by hitting that like button and sharing people that you know, like artists, commentary, reactions, and reviews, honey. Anyway, to really become a part of this community yourself, comment, okay, very important, subscribe, and of course, notification bell, right? Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right on into this thing. Okay, so girl groups like Danity Kane. What's on my voice today, honey? Water. So girl groups like, god darn. Girl groups, honey, like Danity Kane, SWV, Escape, the Pussycat Dolls, Spice Girls, Fifth Harmony, okay? And the list goes on. Groups like Climax. You get the picture, honey. You get the picture. Okay? Why do most girl groups last? Either if they're lasting for years, most of them are lasting begrudgingly behind the scenes while they're fighting each other's heads off. Right? And then eventually they disband. Most of them won't even make it past the first couple albums before it's over. Right? Because here we go. Ladies, you can attest to this, right? Ladies watching, hello, how are you today? There's this thing called a girl's girl, right? But a girl's girl is not something that comes naturally to females of the human animal race, right? You have to really work on being a girl's girl because it's a certain way that nature has made the female, right? That for some odd reason to be very competitive with their female same-sex counterparts, right? When it comes to men, especially the top producer of men, 20% at this point, maybe less, because of the way that capitalism and things are changing and shifting, where it's making it hard for most men to really be those producers the way they used to can be, like back in the boomer days, right? Like back in the Gen X days, right? So on and so forth, right? As our commonly shifts and turn into God, I don't know what. Anyway, the female was made to be prioritized by, I don't know what you believe, if you believe it's God, the universe, Allah, whatever your God or your creator is. I'm just going to say nature at this point. That's what I'm going to use. Nature seemed to have prioritized survival. And in its way of selecting survival at the highest degree for the female, that means she was going to be competitive with her same sex to get the best of things, right? But in order to really have great camaraderie with other females, right? I mean, really, really good camaraderie. The way that men have naturally been selected by nature have an easier time when there's interests that they share that are there, right? And we have our own type of competition, right? But it's not the same way. We're not wired the same way as the female is, right? So with that being said, the female has to work on being a girl's girl, right? She has to really work on it. Because we know that men really love men. Whether they're gay, straight, or whatever their sexuality is, that's not the question. Men do like other men. Men are willing to share things with each other more often, naturally. Share the money. Share this, share that, while women don't really do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's not an environmental or cultural phenomenon of a thing that they have decided because of what they've been taught or brought up. No, it's an instinctual thing that exists within all women. Okay? And so we're putting this towards the girl group, okay? Number one, you're removing the male element out of the equation. There's no man there. There's no male in the equation. And they're also being controlled by the music industry label bosses that be. So they have to be together in this apartment, this house together for long periods of time, and they have to do this together, they have to rehearse together, they have to see each other. These ladies, these females, are never getting the chance to break away, right? They're never getting the chance to really break away, to maybe get a little male attention or spend some time alone, you know, for real, and do their thing, and you know, have some real free time the way they used to before they signed the contract and got into the group and whatnot. and now they're constantly working together, rehearsing together, working together days and months and putting on shows together and using the same dressing rooms and having to use the same bathrooms, whatever, day after day after day after day. Right? And because the nature of females, it is actually a recipe for disaster. Okay? Now, these females may like each other even more if they didn't have to spend so much time in the same spaces all the time. But that is not happening, is it? No. Not happening. And so cat fights are breaking out behind the scenes, which the cameras somehow aren't capturing, and this one is mad at that one, but the public doesn't know that's going on because they're putting on a certain brand, reputation, and an image for the public that nobody's none the wiser that any of those things are going on in these girl groups, right? Unless they've allowed the cameras into their lives, reality show style. Not even Danity Kane allowed the cameras to catch and air the discrepancies that were going on between all of them behind the scenes at all. You didn't see that footage. You didn't see the girls fighting each other. You didn't see the girls getting annoyed with bathroom time and this and that. You didn't see it on camera, so basically it wasn't happening. They were capturing a different type of drama. Okay? And so, you heard about it later when the girls started talking about it. But had the girls not said anything about the fights they used to have in the background, had the girls not talked about the fact that Dawn punched Aubrey in the back of the head at a session, you would have never known about it because it was not on camera, right? Or a certain deal was worked out that this footage would not be shown to the public. But this stuff is going on with these girl groups all the time because nature is taking its course. See, you could pretty it up. You could put a gloss on it, right? You can sit there and suppress it and whatever and make it look a certain way to each other. We do this, and at this point, I want to encompass all of us in this conversation. This is just about the human animal and how we seem to really be the only species that puts on a show for each other day in and day out. Okay? With the clothes we put on, the perfume, and the deodorants and this and that, and the slacks and whatnot, and we tell each other the story that we want each other to believe about us. Yeah, we'll get vulnerable with some people or whatever and tell our role stories, or we'll put a spin on it, right? And we feel that there's some kind of trust there, even if we're foolish about that, right? But for the most part, we're always having to put on a show. See, you can't go outside completely in your birthday suit, right? You can't walk outside your door naked. And they want to call the divided states of America a free country. They want to call the divided kingdom of Britain a free country. Right? Wrong. It's never been free. But the people buy it. I don't know why I don't know why y'all buy it, okay? But you're buying it, okay? And with that being said, you have to go outside basically putting on a show. So it's routine for you, right? The routine is that you want to get up in the morning and you want to put on the clothes and the colognes and the perfume and the deodorants before you step outside, or else you'll be ostracized by everybody else who has to, quote unquote, put on the show too. What we all could do is decide collectively that we're no longer going to put on the show. But we won't do that. And that's a whole conversation for another time. Okay? Now let's rope this back in to what the subject's about and what this is all related to. So the cameras that are rolling are not always showing you what's going on behind the scenes in these ladies' lives, these stars' lives, right? Because almost nothing's really glittering and glistening in the music industry, in that movie industry, right? It's not. It's painted up. It's polished up to fool the human eye and the ear. Okay? With that being said, is that females are not meant to be put in these spaces together and be in there for long, continuous periods of time. Why do you think that all female company, and they're still trying to make multiple of them with no men in the equation? Because they're going against nature in this facade for femininity, feminism, right? Feminism is great, right? It's great, but it's only great when it works within the rules of Mother Nature. Once you step outside of that, that's when the trouble come on in. Okay? And so there was one example of this all-female business. And how great did that go? It didn't. The girls were really at each other's necks. They spent all the time together with just the females. It didn't go so well without any males in the equation at all. Because nature has really built us to need each other. And this is not talking about FTX, right? This is talking about the natural chemical equation, you know, of both of the sexes, right? Anyway, the point being is that we want to bring it back to the fact that the female has been programmed by Mother Nature a certain way, something that she cannot override, right? There are ladies out there right now at the time of this recording that get that. And so they're going to be more soft. They're going to be really listening to what their bodies are saying to them as females, right? For the ones that are ticking the way a typical female would tick, because not you're all your anomalies, right? Especially me as a gay male coming from the gay community, they're all your anomalies. But for the typical female, some have decided to listen, but the others are not. They want to do it like the men do it, and they find out that they're not able to take it as well as we can because we're built a certain way over here, okay? But anyway, we're talking really strictly about the fact that females are just not made to spend that much time together back to back to back without any problems at all. Right? They have a harder time coming back together. Unlike the way that men can come back together. You see? Because men aren't built to be competitive by nature the way that females are. This is a different kind of competitive. This is a different kind of thing that females are always complaining that there's plenty of females out there complaining that girls are catty and blah, 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 and whatnot, right? Well, it's not on conscious purpose. It's not consciously happening. It's just the way the body's ticking for the female, right? Nobody seems to talk about that. Yes, the girls need each other, but there is a limit. Okay? There is a limit. I hope that you really are picking up what I'm putting down here. For some of you, you won't. And that's fine. Right? But to wrap this all up, these are just some of the ways of nature when it comes to the female human, right? That they're just not meant to be in that space together, working together like that, day in, day out. They get their makeup on and they perform and all this, and you know, in this way, right? Because we're relating this back to the girl group. We're relating it back to the girl group and not just the typical situation outside of that, right? We're relating it to the girl group, right? there were these internal problems already going on in a group before the disbandment, right? Before the Diddy pause. Anyway, everybody needs time to be away from each other and come back. Be away from each other and come back. Right? But in this situation, we're strictly talking about the unnatural conditions that females in this industry who decide to be in a group have to exist. In these really unnatural, unsavory type of ways that causes these explosions that otherwise may not happen. Right? There are other people and females who don't get along with each other just because the interests and the beliefs are different. That's always going to be there with anybody. But we're strictly talking about the natural processes of, I don't care if that's your best friend, because remember that Aubrey and Andrea were the best of friends. But by the end of the show anyway, they seem to be on the opposite sides of the fence, right? And it really is because there's just too much time spent together as females and not enough time to be away from each other for months, days, weeks, right? We could talk about the male groups some other time, but we're strictly talking about the female girl group, and these are some of your major reasons, for the most part. Strictly talking about nature that you girls can concur with out there, right? That in a girl group makes it even harder, right? To be that girl's girl. In a girl group that makes it harder to have your girls back when you're constantly in a group together. Day after day after day, we're constantly in the same space together. Right? That's why it was nice for them, like people like Danny and Danny Kane, for example. It was nice for them when Diddy sent them home, right? This is when they finally felt they had a chance to breathe and really be themselves and get back to their family and what they know. But it seemed that it was somehow never enough time for problems to not occur the way that they did in the group before Diddy pulled them apart. But I've really gone on too long. You get the picture of a lot of these girl groups. Not only do they disband, when they come back together, it never lasts, right? But males groups can come back together and and get on the road and do shows for days, right? The male groups can just come on back together and do that. But the female groups, they never last when they come back together. Because it's just too much for them to be in those same spaces together like that for weeks and months on tour. Right? For weeks and months on tour. Some of those same problems, even back then, started to show up, and they get at each other's necks again. And it's strictly a female thing. Okay? Strictly a female thing. Well, that's the end of this. This has been Peyton 3.0, the artist, the musician, the entertainer, not the content creator, not the YouTuber, and not the influencer. I hope that it makes you think about something today, honey. And if you did get your life or something out of this, go ahead and hit that like button. Share people that you know that like artists, commentary, reaction, reviews. And of course, notification bell for more. Subscribe and comment to become a part of this community. Now, you've been here for this long, right? You've been here for this long, and you get a bonus. I said I was an artist, musician myself, right? Entertainer. So I want to do the trio. I'm going to sing a cappella, a cover song, rap, and play one of my songs. So here we go. Is it on? Here we go. It was even harder cause I'm gay. Never to the price that would have to pay. Would never dare to camouflage. Being on the fake messed up mirage. Now I'm doing here on my own. Ready to proclaim my golden throne. Boys come around and they say what's up. And I see the crowd, they're about to erupt. And now, the song.
I know you're out there looking for a stress reliever.
You're looking for a stress reliever out there. Here we go.
But let me tell you what you need to do. Here we go. Blood pressure, you worked all day like the messenger. Work so hard that the bills are high. All you do is cry me a freaking try. Punch that clock every freaking day. Still on your money, you got to pay. Fuck that shit, man, you need relief. But you got is free for the fucking cheap. Some take care of the freaking kids. Munch your plate for your freaking lid. Stress too much, always in a rush. You need and brushing, you're feeling flush. What is it that you're gonna do? Gonna have some relief in you. Time to get out with the music plays every freaking day. All I gotta say is jump, turn that music loud. I wanna see no hands in the crowd. You gotta get it turned up, get it turned up, get it turned up, get it turned up. Lose your mind to the beat. Shake it up, keep moving your feet. You gotta get it turned up, get it turned up, get it turned up, get it turned up. And get the stress.
And that is all I will be giving you, okay? Anyway, if you want to hear that song in its entirety, then comment in the comment section. You ready? Let me hear that song. And I most certainly will, absolutely for free. Truth is, I never got over you. Wish I was standing in your shoes. When it's all said and done, guess I'm still in love. Truth is, I never should let you go. It's killing me because no one knows. When I thought said none, guess I'm still in love with you. Ooh.
One life, they wanna be around. No matter how you are getting down, There's really nothing that you can do. Push past all the doubts and believe in you. Push past all the doubts and believe in you. Cause when it's all over, said and done, there's only one, yeah, there's only one. Take it by the horns and be on the run. Take it by the horns and be on the run. Even when you get down, yes, they wanna be around and they wanna see you frown. One life, they wanna be around.